Right. Thanks, Harry. We'll get going. This is the first of a series that I'm doing, so it's new. We'll
Okay.
see what happens today. It's
Okay,
quite quiet today. I'm live.
you're now live. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've made you host.
Thank you so much.
See you
Lovely.
in your next class, Sue.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryder Harry. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Right. Oh, welcome anybody who's watching live streaming. We should be starting in about 3 minutes. I will see you there. Unmute, start video. Good morning, Gail. Nice to have you in class this morning. It's evening for you, right? Hi, Gail. Is it evening for you where you are? Lovely to have you in class with us. Welcome. There are some others who are due to come into class. Today we have James with us. He is helping me if there are any problems that you might have. And you will be able to ask him anything in the chat box if you have a problem. I think we'll just give another minute before we start on making some structures. Now, I'm not sure if you got a message that says you can bring along popsicle sticks and things to class. Um, it is going to be as part of the class because today we are mainly using simple items. But let's start. In the meantime, anybody who joins us, it will be great. Now, share. Right. Now, let's pop that up there. Right. Now we have got Get Set Up is a learning platform. So I'm only too happy if you come into class and chat at any time. You can press your space bar, which allows you to unmute and you can speak. And then if you lift your hands, then you'll immediately you are muted again. You can request a recording after the class at help@getsetup.io. Those of you who are joining by live streaming, please, it would be great if you joined us because then you can really participate. And anything that we might mention, any products, we are not paid for. They are the things that we happen to use. So let's continue. A little about myself. I'm Sue Murray. I live in Perth, Australia. I was born and lived in South Africa for 63 years before moving to Australia to help with my grandchildren. I've been an educator for 44 years, and so I have gathered an immense amount of ideas and things to use with children. One of the subjects I taught actually was a subject where children learned to make things and found out how things move, what causes things to happen, and so on. I have a great love of animals, and that's why I do my animal series on Australian animals and South African animals. And I really enjoy being a Get Set Up guide and interacting with you. Now, the most things that we're going to use today in our structures are simple things you have at home. And if you don't, they are very easy to get at the dollar store or any other store for that matter. We are using popsicle sticks, a lot of popsicle sticks during what we are making. We are using clothes pegs and we are using fasteners. These little fasteners that open up. Oops, mine doesn't want to open now. There we go, where you can open them and you can peg them onto your, hi, welcome iPhone. Lovely to have you in class. So you've got your, oh, hello, how are you today? Nice to have you in class. You're on mute at the moment. Right. So what we are using today in class are popsicle sticks, these little fasteners, and clothes pegs, those, and toothpicks. So those are the things that we are going to be using in class today. Natalie, did you get told that if you wanted to build, what things you could bring to class?
No.
Okay, no, that's fine. This is the first class, and I wasn't sure whether it was put up or not. It will be put up in the future, just so that if you want to actually make something with me, then that's great. You can fiddle at the same time and make different things. But it really doesn't matter today whether you do or you don't. So it's easy to do. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Ah, that's good. What time is it now for you?
It's 9:06. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina.
You're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, yeah, it's 9 o'clock in the morning for me. So
Really?
yeah, I'm 12 hours ahead of you because I come from Perth, Australia. So I'm on the other side of the world to you.
Oh.
So that is great to have you in class. All the things
Thank
we are doing are very simple things, and if you build with your grandchildren, they really enjoy that, because sometimes they get a little frustrated when they can't, what they're thinking of doesn't work, and then they just look at what you're doing and they go, oh, that's an idea. And then they start making their own version of what you've got and creating. And you'll see that in some of the pictures I've got, because I've built most of these with my grandchildren, and taken photos as they were building. So you can see it, that it really is possible. I've done this with 5-year-olds. I've done it with 12-year-olds. So it really doesn't matter. But on Monday, it was so interesting. I was at with my granddaughter and my step grandchildren, and the older boy, he's 12. He said, "Oh no, he's not taking part in what we're doing. Really, it's not," because I had 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, my granddaughter who's 9, my step granddaughter who's 12, and the boy who's 11. He's in the middle. He's 11. And he said, "Oh, no, I'll leave it to all of you." And off he went with his iPad. Then the eyes started to look and see what we were doing, and the eyes roamed a bit further. And then the next thing, he sort of ambled past and he said, "Well, maybe I'll give it a try." So then he sat down at the table. Well, he built the most amazing structures. He suddenly realized that it wasn't just for little kids, and that in fact he had his own way to create things, and he's quite competitive. So to go against his sister and Izzy and see if he could build taller, wider, fatter than they did, suddenly the sky was the limit for him. So often they at beginning will say, "Oh, I'm not so sure." And okay, well, I'm going to see what I can make, and maybe you can try and see if you can beat me. As soon as you have a little bit of a competition going, then they think, "Oh, beat grandma. Yeah, of course I can beat grandma." And then off they go and they start building and making and doing. So today we're going to do strong structures, tall structures, using triangulation, which of course is the strongest form of structure. And then we're going to build multiple marble runs with all sorts of crazy things, but things you've got around the house. So let's begin and see what we're going to do. Now, this is my little granddaughter, and she and I had a design challenge to build a structure to hold the most weight. So we started off, I was making one with triangles. Where's my one? I was building with triangles. She was building with straight. And all you do is you join your popsicle sticks with these, I don't know what you call them, paper fasteners, I suppose, that you can just, so you can go, got those at the local stationery shop. You can buy big bags and boxes of them. They're not expensive. And so I started to build like this, and she started to build straight. She then wanted to put long legs on it, and the long legs kept crashing. And she was getting so frustrated and with these long legs that she could just balance. As soon as she put anything on it, the whole thing sort of skewed off to the side. And then she looked and saw that Granny had put 2 pegs together and made something quite firm to stand on. Right. So off she went. She made her 2 pegs in a different form and proceeded to then put her structure on top of the 2 pegs. And we started off first. She said, "Oh, let's see yours, Grandma." So we put her computer on top of it, and we put some books on top of it, and then books and computers. And she thought this was really interesting, and she was holding hers up behind. This is what I'm going to try next. And then she proceeded to put books. She ended up with 14 big books on top of her structure, and it still didn't collapse. but we ran out of books that were in the lounge at the time. And I said, no, we're not going to go and take books from the bookshelves elsewhere, because then everything is going to get mixed up. This is fine. You've got enough books. And the excitement and the look on her face as she did it, because she first of all tried some juice bottles, then she tried just her computer, then she tried some books, and she kept looking and put 2 books. No, it's still standing, and the face just lit up with the excitement of creating this structure that could carry such a heavy weight. She never at the beginning even vaguely believed that such a structure could hold a weight like that. Then we spoke about bridges. That's what a bridge is. A bridge has legs on it. It has strength because you've got people, you've got cars going over it. And so we then started to work from that. And so you can then take it further. You can go and look at bridges on the internet. You can go and do all sorts of things, structures that hold a weight. And then they get really interested. Then they're saying, okay, my structure was quite flat. What happens if we want to build a tall structure? So now we started, and this time the challenge was you must, at the very beginning, she wanted to use pipe cleaners, she wanted to use glue, she wanted to use string, and I said, only what I've given you, and that's it. So then she got to doing it. And so then you use only a tower, a freestanding tower. It can't lean over, and it can't lean against something, because then it really isn't building. And you can only use what I've given you. And this time I only gave her some pegs, clothes pegs, and popsicle sticks. That's it, nothing else. And I said, build the tallest tower you can build. And at first she was making little flat platforms because she wasn't sure how to put. And then slowly but surely, she worked out how to put her pegs so that they would stand. Granted, if you bumped it, it might fall over, but she had started to get the idea of putting her pegs. She also worked out that if you had, where are my pegs like this, you could now put your next row of pegs on and they stayed firm. So and then into that, she could put, let's take that off because that's not allowed. She could put the next lot into that like that and start to build upwards. So, and then your next peg, she would maybe put somewhere else. And so she started to put her placings in different places. Her bridge collapsed umpteen times. But once she was into the idea of building this tall bridge, tall tower, there was nothing stopping her. And then on Monday, when I went there, the others, she already knew what she wanted to put together. And the others then started, the little ones, they built kind of long towers instead of tall towers, but it didn't matter. They were having fun with the popsicle sticks and the clothes pegs. It didn't matter that theirs weren't tall, that theirs lay down. One was going to build the Eiffel Tower. Well, it ended up being an Eiffel Tower that went that way. But that didn't matter. It was such fun. She said, if you look from the top, it's an Eiffel Tower. And I said, yes, you're quite right. It's lying on its side. If you look from the top, it's an Eiffel Tower. But it doesn't matter. It's the creative juices that they are using. They are now thinking logically. And when they put something somewhere and it doesn't work, then they go, okay, that didn't work. I need to try a different way around. Let's try this. Let's try that. And by doing that, they were able to really create some amazing structures. The little boy built the tallest one in the end. He had put a whole variety of things together, and he ended up with, in fact, the tallest of the towers. But it was so interesting how some people put platforms in the middle, others didn't. Some tried with just single pegs going up, 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 and then found that collapsed. So now they had to have a different way of doing it. Then one of them actually cleverly decided that if you put two pegs, I'll show you on the next one, two pegs together, and you then stretch them out flat at the bottom, like my next structure that I'm showing you, that then gave a firm base. Because if you've only got one peg, it's going to do this. But if you've got two pegs, it's not. And so we built these towers. And when they'd finished that, they were so chuffed with what they had built and what they had made. So I said, okay, when we take photos of them now, let's take that down, and I'm going to give you a slightly harder challenge. The little ones continued with theirs, but before we did the harder challenge, I said, right, time for something yummy. And so we started with little marshmallows, baby marshmallows, the little ones. We use the ones that they call smallows here. I'm not sure what they're called, but they're the baby marshmallows and toothpicks. And what you do is you work out, just grab some toothpicks, you pop into the, sorry, dog, toothpick landed on the dog, landed point side, and the dog was asleep. It suddenly had a toothpick, a pointy toothpick on it. Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to do that to you, boy. Oh, dear. Right, so now you start making triangles or squares. You start building, and you might start with a square as your base. And then you can also use jelly tots. Jelly tots also work wonders. And if you can't get small marshmallows, you can cut up the big marshmallows. They cut very nicely into bits. Just make sure you haven't got the very soft ones, because then it's terribly gooey. One of the little ones that was there yesterday, on Monday, she decided when she'd finished making, she disappeared for a second, came back, she put it into the microwave, and now we had gooey marshmallow everywhere, in her hair, so she was straight into the shower afterwards. But nobody worried. She finished it, we cleaned, and it was done. So this is working with jelly tots. I actually find jelly tots easier to work with. And so those are so easy. You can then build cubes, squares, triangles, and you can really start creating by just, dog got a jelly tot. He's doing well under my chair today. Hey, Bear, you're enjoying your time under my chair. Now you can see I'm starting to build structure. I've got my square. Now I can make that. So if I think it's going to be stronger by doing it as triangles, I can now join those together and make them into triangles. So now, but I need another one of those and another one of those. That has that on it. Now I'm starting to build triangles.
Wow.
Very, very simply, you are now building these interesting structures are coming along very nicely. Now, just joining those two that we've got sticking down at the bottom or up at the top, if I join those two together, that now makes a series of triangles. And that is now strong and very easy to work with. So you just keep going with, hi, Vivian, lovely to have you in class. Now, continuing to build with your marshmallows or with your jelly tots, you are able to now create a really strong structure. And so with my base of a square, I'm now creating a much stronger structure above it. And you can get smaller and smaller, bigger and bigger, and you can build the most amazing structures. With the older children, you can actually get them to build a dome. I've done it with 8-year-olds, and I very successfully, where they've built a dome. They've learned just by using their triangles, they can build their domes.
Wow.
What I do is I put a little bowl with a few jelly tots or marshmallows in, and those are their edible marshmallows. They can eat those while they are working. Otherwise, you find they are continually one for the structure, one for the mouth, one for the structure, one for the mouth. So if you give them some and you say to them, those are the ones that you may eat, that seems to really work very well. They then have those and they very carefully work out when they're going to eat those ones, and away you go with that. But they can build amazing structures. Let's put another one across the bottom here. That makes that one stronger now. And so now, I need one in the middle there, and they soon see where they want to put their extra things in to make and create beautiful structures. So give them hours of fun. Afterwards, you can either collect the jelly tots to be used again. If not, if you want to, that's their jelly tots, that's their packet of jelly tots to take home or to eat when they are with you or whatever. So I normally buy small packets, and then each of them, that's their packet of jelly tots. They build with what they've got. Or and once you've taken it, you've got to keep it, because otherwise it's cross-contamination. So rather than having anybody saying, oh, but she's touched it, what's in your bowl, those are yours. What's in their bowl is theirs, and your little eating bowl is your eating bowl. And that way they can really play. And then afterwards, I put them in a Ziploc bag for them. They take them away with them. Those are theirs. So that is your challenge of being able to create a tower that is freestanding, can't lean on anything or be held up by anything other than what is provided. And this is what is provided. Small marshmallows, our baby marshmallows, or our jelly tots. I do find the jelly tots are a stronger hold than the marshmallows, but they both work equally well. So you've got a choice of what you would like to use. But wow, they have the most amazing fun building with that. Any questions? Natalie, Vivian, any questions?
No.
Right, not yet. Right, let me just move those out of the way for the moment. You will see some more structures coming up. There's a question in the chat. Thanks. Okay, no problem. All right, let's continue. Now, where am I there? Now, design challenge number 3. So now they've worked with one thing, they've worked with something else. We're coming back to our 3 main ingredients: our peg, our popsicle stick, and this time it's only pegs and pegs, popsicle sticks, and we can still use our, where did that one go? I've lost it. Let me grab another one. Our paper fastener. So let me open up my paper fastener. So I've got my paper fastener ready to be able to use if I want to use them. The little ones are perfect for working with these small structures. Now, my thing was to build with the fewest popsicles and pegs that you can. Now, you've really got, you don't have to give them, oh, sorry, things have moved. I bumped my mouse. Apologies. Let's just go back to where we were. You don't have to give them paper fasteners. That can be a choice of yours. I chose not to give them the paper fasteners, and they just built, oh, no, I did. I gave them 2 paper fasteners at the bottom to build like that. There's my one that I've built. I'll put it sideways on so you can see, going up and up and up, just working out how you want to do. Now, earlier I spoke about how to make strength at the bottom. If you take 2 pegs together, use a paper fastener to hold them together, that makes a very strong base to stand on. And once they've learned that by watching each other or maybe watching you, they've got a strong base that then holds it. But it also holds up just on a peg on its end is also quite strong enough. A peg on its end can also hold, as you can see in the first picture. But you can give them a certain number of pegs and a certain number of popsicle sticks if they are older. Younger ones, let them use whatever they need. But you can actually start to make them think and design, because I only have this number. How am I going to make it tall? If I've only got this, what do I do to get it to work and make it better? And so in that way, they can create. But there's a creation that we have made. So it's there. Nice, easy creation that is done. Now, so just if you've got popsicle sticks and pegs in your cupboard and anybody arrives, grandchildren arrive, neighbors' children arrive, somebody comes for tea and they've got a child with them, just fish out the popsicle sticks, pegs, and say to them, build. Just build. And they will come up with awesome ideas using those. Right, you're going to give it a try, Natalie?
Yes.
But good.
Everybody lives a distance away. The grandchildren
that doesn't matter.
Are now older, but I just got two great twin granddaughters.
Fantastic. How old are they?
They'll be 2 this month.
Now that's perfect. I built with my little grandson. He's just over 2. He lives in South Africa and we build on Zoom. So he's at home and I'm in my house and I have the things and he has the things and we build together.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to be in the same room. All the things I do virtually with my grandson. So you can do it long distance. You're building, he's building, you talking. It's as if you're in the same room. And he loves it. He gets his pegs and he's putting his pegs on and he does all the different, he cooks with me. When I do grandma with cooking, he cooks with me. Whenever I'm making things with toilet rolls and that, dad or mom are nearby. They bring the things together. I tell them what I'm going to do with him. And he loves his time with grandma. And we do it sort of once every 2 weeks. We have time with grandma and we build and we make, and he loves it. He's the cutest little thing. And it's the only way that I can actually be in contact with him, because there's no way I'm going to get back to South Africa for at least another couple of years until all the rubbish is over. So in this way, I am able to bond with him. His little sister is only 9 months, so she's too young, but she will certainly be joining us as soon as she can. She sits and wants to try, but obviously can't. But yeah, so don't feel that you can't do it with your great-grandchildren. You certainly can. You can, and you can have such fun with them.
Try. Thank you.
I hope, Vivian, you're going to give it a try as well with your grandchildren or anybody that happens to, but also people that have children around you. And if the children all know. Yes, Vivian.
Yeah, I will. This is very good. Thank you.
Great. I hope you'll use it too, because it is such fun to build with them and to have time with them. They also talk. If you ask a child how was school, your answer will 9 times out of 10 be fine. That's it. Right. But if you're busy building and they're busy concentrating on the building and you say, how are your lessons today? Suddenly the floodgates are open. Oh, we did this and I said this to this one and that, yep. Because they are now not thinking, Granny wants to know what happened at school today. Typical teacher, mum. No, now it's just a fun talk with her, and you get them to interact with you and be with you. So Those are all the ones that we've got at the now. Challenge number 4. You're going to build with triangulation. Everything has got to be a triangle. So you would still have your pegs, these here, but now because I want a triangle, I will do that. I will just add an extra one in there. Oops, in there, and add that one back to there. Now I'm using triangulation. I've made a space rocket. There's a spaceship. There comes my spaceship through the air. I have a spaceship. Look, Gran, I made the spaceship. Here is my spaceship. So there we go with your different things that you can make. You can give them a specific thing. Build a tower, or build make a basket, or you can come up with all sorts of exciting things that you can do just with triangulation. And as you go up with your triangles, you can build a bridge. There's the one side of the bridge, and you can build the other side of the bridge. And then you can put triangles so that people can walk over the bridge. So you could have maybe given them a theme of build a bridge. Now they're building a bridge, or they're building a tower, or they're building whatever. And so this way you are able to really get them to create and make. So you can use thin popsicle sticks, fat popsicle sticks, you name it, you use it. And so they're giant ones, and they're medium-sized ones, they're skinny ones. You can get plain ones that they can paint themselves. You can buy the painted ones, and they're about $1 a pack. So you can, I every time I go buy more, and I'm slowly building up this really big collection of popsicle sticks because they get used so quickly. Suddenly your whole array of popsicle sticks that you thought you had too many of are gone, and they say, where's another stick, Gran? They've run out of popsicle sticks. So they really do enjoy it. It's freestanding. What are you going to create? And you can give them certain things depending on their age as to what you want them to be able to do.
Okay.
All right, now again, building with marshmallows. Now, this is my step granddaughter. This is her creation that she made. We started off with the building, just making triangles and squares using the marshmallows, seeing which one was stronger. Is a square stronger than a triangle? And discovered very quickly that a square, if you have a square, let me just quickly grab some more of these. If you have a square, and make my square 3, 4. Again, you have your little bowl of edibles and your non-edibles, not till the end anyway. Otherwise you go through them very, very quickly. Right, so now I've got a square. My square is not stable. My square can squeeze. My square does not do anything. But if I add a triangle in the middle of that square, suddenly this structure is much stronger. It can't go anywhere. It can't squeeze. It can't move. Now we've discovered that triangles are the strongest thing that you've got. So you've got your triangles working, and then they think, okay, if a triangle works, then how am I going to build with my triangles? And as I say, that was her structure. First of all, she put it on a plate, and then she held it up. And as soon as she held it up, it became this incredible sculpture that she had created. And she was so happy building that. To her, that was amazing. She had created this wonderful structure just using her jelly tots. But you can get them to build stars, you can get them to build spaceships, you can get them to build anything. You can set, if they are liking the under the sea, then make a starfish, make her this, make her that. How are you going to do it? and so they can create different things. But really, you can have so much fun with this. Right. Now, moving on to marble runs. This is our third of the things that we can do as a design challenge. One thing that I've made a miniature now. Whoops, let me just take this out. This is just out of a box that had some sweets in it, a sweet box. A shoebox is better because it's a bit bigger, and any bigger box than that after that is great. But mine, as I say, I made a miniature so that you can see it. All I did was take some popsicles, cut some of them shorter than the others or break them shorter than the others, and make a design that I liked. I used press stick first to put it on, because you've got to make sure that your marble or ball is going to be able to fit through. Otherwise, if you don't want it to, then you touch them, but you might want it to go through and you've stuck it just a little bit too close to the other one, and then it can't get through that gap. So you can set up the different gaps. You can make a hole at the end, and the idea is to get it out through the hole. So you drop it in anywhere, and then after that, you wiggle it and squirm it and try and get it to go where you want it to go. Right? Mine's got stuck. I need to get it out of there. And it takes forever. You sit and you wiggling and squirming. Your ball is going through. There's my ball stuck at the moment over there. I can wiggle it. Which way is it going? That one, this way. Okay. No, yeah, okay. It's going that way. There, it's gone and round, and it's in the wrong place. I go back up to the top, but you can, and it's now on the floor. No, dog, don't eat that. That's not for food. Right. So I think what you can also do with this is you can tell them you wanted to go to this spot or that spot, and you started somewhere else. Now they've got to wiggle and squirm and get it into maybe this top corner. I've got a little opening on this top corner. I want it into this top corner. Now they've got to wiggle it and move it and get it to go and find it and get it into its place. So a marble run, and they can build their own marble runs as well. Awesome to do. Just using popsicle sticks and an old box. You can also do the same thing with an old box. Cut your popsicle sticks in half and then stick them on facing outwards. So the top one that we're doing here, the popsicle sticks are sticking outwards, and now it drops down and it plops onto them and on its way down to the bottom. So it plops from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and down it goes. Sometimes they do pop out, but on the whole, they pretty much stay in, and you can see he's put a whole lot of different ones in, and they've got stuck at certain places, others are fitted through. And so then you've got to wobble it a bit and then they'll start going. So that's another way of doing it. You can put holes in the bottom of the container, and then they've got to get round without falling in the holes. If it goes through the hole, then it's got to start again. So it's another way of doing it. Or they've got to go out through a particular hole, and then they've got to get round all the other holes to get to that hole. So you can really set it as the sky's the limit. You can make really long ones, like the one here on the right-hand side. That's a really long one, and they can drop it down, and it has to land in a cup at the bottom. And you can have different values for the cups. It's 5 Smarties if it lands in this one, and it's 2 Smarties if it lands in that one. And so now they're wanting to make sure they land in the one with the most as the prize at the end. So they then have a strategy as to where they let go their marble, so that it will change direction and go where it needs to go. And so that is using their logic skills. And they love doing it. They really do. If you say to them, we're going to do logic today, they go, ugh. But if you say we make a marble run, yes, Natalie.
So you know what? They have this here game, the long one that the children is playing at the bottom. They had that on The Price is Right.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
But what fun. You see,
Yeah.
even adults can play it. You can, if you've got some friends over, you can do all sorts of things as to what the base is. It can be forfeits, it can be challenges, it can be, oh, you
Mhm.
name it. You can have
Yeah.
a little things in the box that it's a challenge to do. If your one lands here, you've got to take one of the little pieces of paper out and it tells you you've got to sing a song or you've got to do this, or you could have an evening of fun with your friends like you can't believe.
Mhm. Oh, that's so good.
So you see, it's not only for children, it's for everyone. You can really just use your imagination, get your imagination going, and you can really do some of the most amazing things.
Mhm.
Right. You can also make funnels for the balls to go through. That's just 3 popsicle sticks stuck together. That now
Mhm.
makes a channel for the ball to go through.
Oh,
And
okay.
so what this little boy has done is he's built a whole lot of those, and now he's put them on the wall or onto a piece of board, and you drop at the top, and it's now got a funnel to go down and where it's going. And if you don't want it to go off the edge, you put a popsicle stick at the edge so that when it lands and it hits that, it continues down, going down the other way. And they can design their own marble runs that way. So that makes for a really interesting marble run as well. That's and you can use clothes pegs. You can use, oh, as I say, so many different things. The one at the bottom is clothes pegs and popsicle sticks, and you've made a whole conglomeration of getting it from the top to the bottom. So it depends on what you give them as their choice of things to build with and make with. They can make amazing ones. If it's little kids, they can do part of it, and then mom or dad can help them to make the marble run. Now they have the fun of playing with the marble run. And so then they can play with what you've given them. If they're little, you make sure that the marble run's quite a big marble run and it's got a big ball so they can't swallow it or put it up the nose or do something like that with it. And so in that way, you know that it's a, or you do it with things like M&Ms, the nut M&Ms, and those roll very nicely, thank you. And those nut M&Ms will roll down, and if they eat them afterward, that's okay. It can go in the mouth. So with little ones, nut M&Ms would be ideal, or even the chocolate M&Ms inside. If you're a bit worried about a nut getting stuck in the throat, do the chocolate M&Ms, and they then use that as their marble for the marble run. So there are ways to get around all ages. I will tell my son to use, we haven't done marble runs yet, to get some of the chocolate M&Ms, the bigger ones, so that they can roll down and it's safe for anybody to use. But so you can see there are just so many things you can do with what you've got in the house. You don't have to go out and buy these fancy toys and these fancy things. You can do it with simple stuff. My mantra, the simpler, the better. Right. Now, here are some more quite challenging ones. The 2 at the top are for the older children. They've designed really fancy marble runs using toilet rolls, roller towel rolls, and some popsicle sticks to make the structures. They've built the structure with the popsicle sticks and then put the toilet rolls and roller towels either cut in half or whole onto there to make the structures. And they are awesome. You can use your roller towels and toilet rolls. And if you're worried about toilet rolls being not able to be used, I haven't brought it with me because that's not my toilet roll class. You can get a Dettol spray that you can spray your toilet rolls with so that there are no germs. When I'm finished nowadays, whenever I get them, I spray them. Whoever I've got them from, I spray them, stick them in my box of toilet rolls. I know they're clean. I know they can be used, and it's fine. So this is using paper plates, using the edge of a paper plate as your marble run, and you can then have an awesome marble run made out of paper plates, roller towels, and just something to stand it on a plate, and then create your marble run. Awesome thing to do. They can really have fun playing with these. You can make a twirly whirly one using paper plates, but where you just cut out enough in the center of the plate to so that it fits comfortably over the roller towel, and then you just twist it down, and then you get the next one and you do the same thing and the next one, and you can make this wonderful helter-skelter. We used to call it a helter-skelter. I don't know what they call it now, that goes down, 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 down. And another awesome thing to play with. Really nice to have fun with. Any
That is
questions?
nice. I like that.
You like
Yeah.
that? Excellent. And as I say, if you don't want to use marbles, use your M&Ms. They work very nicely as a marble, and they're safe. So really, you can just use something that is lying around in the house.
Okay.
Right. And then the last one is anything goes. This one in the middle is made with straws, where they've just put straws. What they've done is used an old box and made holes in the old box. Or if you've got a piece of pegboard, that's even better. Put them into a pegboard, and then you start building your structure, and then you release your ball, and your ball goes down into a container at the bottom. So using straws, another way to do it. And of course, if you've got those bendy straws, you can make your curve where you want the ball to go by using the bendy straws to get your thing to go round and able to work with it. The one in the top corner is made with skewers, tin foil, and duct tape. That's all. And he's created that creation there out of those things. This one here, Dad's obviously got some bendy pipes left over from doing some plumbing along the way, and made his little thing with the popsicle sticks, and used popsicle sticks and bendy pipes, and created a very nice one to go down. The one on the door with the little boy is done with your roller towels, cut in half, and some in half, some whole. And if you don't mind them putting them on with a bit of press stick onto the door, or there are many things that you can get that will stick onto the door nicely but won't take the paint off. You can create wonderful marble runs and then into a bucket at the bottom. This one here, they've used popsicle sticks, they've used corks, they've used bottle tops, all sorts of things that are in the house, and created a different kind of marble run. And the bottom one is just using milk cartons, and created a marble run from milk cartons. So you don't have to go out and buy fancy things at all. It is very easy for you to be able to make things out of what is left. I've got jars with all my different lids in it. I've got my containers. I use my milk containers. I cut a window in my milk container. That's got all my pegs in it. And I've got other ones with pipe cleaners in. I've got ones with all sorts of things. Everything goes in here. They can stack on top of each other. You can pull them out with the handle and use what you want to use. So it works so easy, so simple, and a lovely way to store. Create from waste using what you've got. So I hope that looking at all of these, you've come up with some ideas as to what you can do to keep children occupied for hours using things around the house. Any
Mhm.
questions? Any ideas? None?
Thank you so much, because the great granddaughters is so far away from me, and then with the pandemic, you know, I I don't want to travel. I don't want to fly.
Mm-mm.
I didn't got both my vaccines, but I still don't want to travel. Not yet.
No, I wouldn't either.
Mm.
But now you do it on Zoom with them.
Yeah.
So you can
Mhm.
still play with them, or on Skype you can do it, or even if you've got an iPhone, you can use your iPhone to do an iPhone,
Oh,
whatever we call
FaceTime.
FaceTime. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do
Yeah.
FaceTime with them. My little grandson calls me Granny in the phone because the only way he ever sees me is Granny in the phone. And so Granny in the phone. Oh, Granny in the phone. And so he loves his Granny in the phone. And one day he'll see his Granny in the phone, but not yet. So yes, it's lovely that we can do and be able to still stay in contact with them. There's some lovely ones if you're interested, Natalie. There's Boredom Busters for kids. I think it's tomorrow. Also, you can do every one of those things with your new grandkids, or where there's treasure hunts and scavenger hunts and sorting and all sorts of things that you can do. So, and every one of them I've done so that you can do it long distance, because all of us
Mhm.
do struggle with that. And I know it works because I do it with my grandson.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, right. If let me just finish off, and then I'll shut down, and we can chat some more. If you've got any ideas, please feel free to put them in the feedback. I will give you a link in my email. One question I wanted to ask in the email: do you want me to include the challenges that I have? Challenge
Yes.
1, challenge 2, challenge 3. Okay, I'll put the little
Yes.
challenge thing, and I'll put an example with it, just so that it'll be a reminder as well. Okay, no, that's fine. I just needed to know that before, because as I say, this is the first time I've done this particular class.
Mm.
I've now got 18 classes up, which is awesome. They're all different, and it's interesting and different for me as well as other people. You don't want to see the same thing again and again and again. So the more I can
I've been
put
to
up, I'll
class-
be able to do it.
I've
Sorry?
been to one of your classes with the snack.
I saw, that's why I said welcome back. I remembered that one. So that is awesome. Oh, where's Vivian's hand gone? I've lost Vivian's hand. I know her hand is up. It's not in chat. I lost Vivian for a second. Yes, Vivian.
I didn't have a chance to sign. Can I send you my email so you can send me the notes also?
Yes, I will. We'll ask. Actually, if you put it in the chat box now,
Okay.
James will be able to add it
All right.
to who the people are, and I can and we can also let them know that you were in the class, because otherwise you will miss out on that.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Thanks,
All right.
James.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. Now, also, if you want to see it again and do it slowly, you can ask for a recording at help@getsetup.io. And with that, you will be able to go through it slowly and play around like I've been doing today. And there's create from waste, there's simple science, creating with pigs and sucker sticks, more ideas with that. So there's just so much that you will be able to do in the other classes. All right, let me just stop sharing. Any questions, any thoughts? Hi, Matty, nice to have you. Hi, Melinda, lovely to have you in class too. Great.
Hi, thank you.
I hope you were able to learn some ideas and things to do.
I did get in kind of late, but I was trying.
Well, you're in time to be able to get yourself the recording of it, and then you can go through it slowly and look at all the different ones that we did, because we had
Right.
so much fun building all our different structures, um, towers, you name it, you can build, and the children can build too. So there's six challenges that I set, and so then they are able to build, and it's all with things around the house that you have, mainly popsicle sticks, clothes pegs, toothpicks, and paper fasteners. That's what most of the things were built with. So very
Okay.
easy things. Yeah, all things around the house.
Right.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for being in class today. And as I said, it was my first one. So any extra ideas you've got that I can add to it or change with it, please feel free to let me know. And I look forward to maybe seeing you in other classes.
Okay.
Have a
Yeah.
great day. In an hour's time, I'm doing one on moving structures, moving toys, things that move.
Mhm.
Again, simple things, balloons, paper, all sorts of things. Popsicle sticks again. So there's all sorts of things to build that move, because children love things that move. So here's another one on moving structures. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much, James, for being with us. Much appreciated. I look forward to meeting up with all of you again. Have a great
Okay.
evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good
Okay.
night.
Thank you.